Spring Valley and George Washington made it to the playoffs last year. What's new when it comes to these two great high school football programs? Tonight on the Hill in Charleston, they meet to help launch the West Virginia high school football season. From Steve Edwards Senior Field on the GW campus, it's a Mountain State Athletic Conference battle between the Timberwolves of Spring Valley and the homestanding Patriots. It comes your way next on this special Thursday edition of the Go-Mart Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week, presented by Glenville State University. We welcome you inside Steve Edwards Senior Field on the campus of George Washington High School, the West Virginia state capital city of Charleston. And it is where we bring you a special Thursday edition of our Go-Mart Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week, presented by Glenville State University, our second matchup of the season, and it is of the Mountain State Athletic Conference variety as the Patriots of George Washington entertain the Timberwolves of Spring Valley High, located on the outskirts of Huntington in Wayne County. Greetings from the Hill here at George Washington High School, along with analysts Jim Mahan, Hannah Klein on the sidelines, and our wonderful FNR crew, Mark Martin. Delighted to have you with us. Jim, let's just call it a soft opening for high school football in the great state of West Virginia on this Thursday. A few games around the state. We'll have a full plate tomorrow. Really excited about this matchup here on a Thursday.
Yeah, key matchup, MSAC, but you mentioned soft. There'll be nothing but that up front with those lines. They'll be banging it hard. It'll be a grinder tonight, Mark.
Yeah, those are strengths for both teams up front. Steve Edwards Jr. really likes his offensive line at GW, and the same for Brad Dingus at Spring Valley. Let's talk about some players to watch in this game tonight. And Miguel Kane, a young man who was on his way to 1,000 yards rushing last season for the Timberwolves, but a broken leg prevented him from reaching that plateau. But he has made a full recovery, ready to go. And Mr. Kane going to do a lot of things for the Timberwolves here tonight and throughout the 2025 season. For George Washington, Cy Persinger became the quarterback last year following an injury to Hayden Hinkle and played a huge role in the Patriots reaching the playoffs. He finished the season 71 of 135, 893 yards, and 11 touchdowns. He is much bigger and much stronger as he gets set for his senior season of high school football. Well, they are programs steeped in football tradition, and tonight they get together to launch the 2025 season. It's the 22nd meeting all-time between Spring Valley's Timberwolves and the Patriots of George Washington. Our kickoff is just moments away here on the Go-Mart Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week, presented by Glenville State University. Well, the George Washington Patriots here on the hill. They love it here in South Hills, playing on the campus and entertaining the Spring Valley Timberwolves. Opening game of this 2025 season, launching West Virginia high school football. Parkersburg of the MSAC playing at Morgantown tonight, Pony Lewis Field. Independence entertaining Herbert Hoover. Jason Wilkinson is our referee tonight. Let's head down to midfield.
Spring Valley. You call the toss. Heads, tails. What do you call?
Like the kick. Away from scoreboard. Red up.
All right. Having a few problems there with Jason Wilkinson's microphone. Hopefully we'll get that cleared up as we move along. He's joined tonight by Alex Kingery, the umpire. John Hardy is the line judge. Head linesman is Charles Short. Robert Dooley is the field judge. Side judges Nelson Cunningham. The back judge, Eric McClung.
Yeah, Mark, you know Brad Dingus, he's obviously got a lot of confidence in his offense. They won the toss and elected to take the ball, so they're trying to set a statement here on the road, first game of the season.
Great to have all of you with us here on our Go-Mart Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week presented by Glenville State University. Go-Mart, go for good times, go for Go-Mart. And Glenville State University, where champions are made on the field and in the classroom. With more than 150 years of tradition, Glenville State is committed to helping students rise through the challenge and reach their goals. Glenville State University, pioneers for life. Time for the West Virginia State Building and Construction Trades Kickoff, where the future is forged. Now, GW's had a lot of outstanding kickers here on the hill, and the latest is Teddy Smith. Been working with Michael Hughes, who had a great career at App State, and now helping with the kickers. And how about Spring Valley? Right away, Zeke Lewis, who we will see some tonight. Lewis benches 350. Let's take the opening kickoff back and run it into GW territory, and that's where the T-Wolves will begin at the 47-yard line.
Yeah, positive 50 side for the Timberwolves, but you talked about Zeke Lewis, the senior, Mark. He didn't have any trouble initiating contact. It was getting ready to get tackled. He does not look like he has the hands of a defensive end.
Caden Lovejoy, a junior, is the quarterback. He'll go from under center, and that is Braxton Carter. He's a senior, and hand it right here. Another nice rip by Spring Valley. Well, I'll tell you what, wasting no time. Cam Purdue. So they've got Purdue, they've got Lewis, who will join in the backfield with Kane, and he faked it to Kane, and there is Cam Purdue. He benches 405, Jim.
Yeah, they got a lot of strength there, especially that veteran offensive line up front. They're starting 4 out of 5 seniors there, so Brad Dingus really relies heavily on that line.
And you got Van Arsdale, Mikey Shy. A lot of those guys have been around. A while, 21-yard pickup, and now it's Kane. He's waited a long time for this moment, but boy, I tell you what, the Patriots were there to gobble him up, and one of those leading the charge was Clyde May, number 3. Casey Atkins was there, and Kyron Davis there as well.
Yeah, nice setup. You see that Spring Valley coming out in the wing T, Mark. That's really just Coach Dingus saying, we're going to run the ball. Can you stop us? But you can do a lot of things off of that wing T. Most of it is deception, quick traps, some quick sweeps, but they will throw the ball if necessary.
Cannon Dillon, they really like him, have him as the wing, and he goes in motion. He gets the handoff, and here is Dillon looking for the end zone, and he's got it. Spring Valley strikes first here at GW.
Taking all of about 3 running plays, Mark, and they were really just showing how to seal on those strong side linebackers. You see some poor angle pursuit from the Patriot defense, which allowed that to happen. Lovejoy able to skirt around the left side.
Brady Cheshire, a 5'6", 130-pound freshman, out of the hold of Lovejoy, the quarterback. And the kick is up, and the kick is good. And another look at the Dillon touchdown, Jim.
Yeah, you see Dillon there. He just goes around the left side. Good corner block there to free him up just to get the edge and find him 6. An early start and a great start. Coach Dingus probably couldn't have scripted any better than that. Didn't even take off more than a minute, little more than a minute on that drive.
We're going to go back to the Zeke Lewis kickoff return that really got things going.
You can open up your playbook a little bit when you're on the positive side of the 50. There's a lot of things they can do, although I don't think it's going to be much of a mystery what Brad Dingus does today. And Steve Edwards Jr., he's just going to have to find a way to get his groups and try to answer that quick strike by the Timberwolves.
Hannah Klein joining us tonight. Hannah, good evening. We'll get back to Hannah in just a moment. Our scoring summary for the Timberwolves. 3 plays, 47 yards, 103 off the clock. West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program scoring summary. Just like every play counts on the field, every decision counts behind the wheel. Put the phone down, keep your eyes on the road. Don't drive distracted. Put it down, save a life. Cheshire with a little sky kick there as we bring you the West Virginia State Building and Construction Trades kickoff where the future is forged.
Yeah, Mark, looked like Kyle Martin had a little bit of breathing room. I guess he was just kind of wanting to make sure he secured the ball and get a good start for the Patriots there. Pretty decent field position at the 34. Let's see what kind of response the Patriots come up with against this Timberwolf defense.
The GW now on the offensive attack after Spring Valley wasting little time to get on the board at the 10:57 mark of the first quarter. And Cy Persinger ready to go to work and going to hand it off and get it into the hands of the young freshman, Jaden Black. Okay, he played at John Adams Middle School. As we look at the lineup, Persinger, Black, Wesley, Clyde May will be there. Jamari Smith, they call him Boy, Kai Martin. And then that good offensive front of Payne, Chapman Edwards, who is the head coach's son, Grayson, and Braden Coulter.
Yeah, Grayson might be the largest starting lineman in the state of West Virginia at 6'8", 4 1/4. Yeah, I did say that right, 4 1/4, not 3 1/4.
But back to Black, he broke all the records of Ryan Switzer at John Adams Middle. So that tells you something about that young man's potential. Here's Persinger, will flick it out, gets it to Black. And Black, who wears number 11, he will be met by number 11, Bo Christopher, the 5'10", 195-pound senior. Brad Dingus, best description of that guy, old school.
He is old school. He's one of the team captains as a senior. You see, Dingus is expecting a lot of leadership out of Bo Christopher this year. Boy, he put a good stick there.
Look at the Spring Valley defensive alignment. And then Christopher there in the middle. Lewis and Lewis up front. Rich and good defense for both of these teams. Now Persinger gets it into the hands of Jamari Smith. And let's head down to Hannah Klein.
That's a gain of 6 yards.
Well, guys, it is week 2 of Friday Night Rivals, but week 1 for West Virginia football. And I'll tell you, it's definitely feeling like football season out there for right here in the Mountain State. Both teams are led by veteran head coaches, with Steve Edwards Jr. entering his 30th season in charge of the DW Patriots, while Brad Dingus has been at the helm for 8 seasons at Spring Valley. The Patriots' last win over the Timberwolves came in a 39-27 game back in 2022. Question is tonight, who will come out on top, guys?
All right, Hannah, look forward to your reports tonight. You get a good look there at Steve Edwards Jr. as we play here at Steve Edwards Senior Field, where his father was the head coach for many years. He was his coach, and you and Steve Jr. were teammates in the North-South All-Star Football Classic back in 1979.
Well, an awful lot of quality players back there, not to mention two guys that went on into the pros in Carl Lee and Kurt Warner. But there were some really good players on that South squad for us.
Steve had an outstanding collegiate career at the University of Cincinnati and came back to the Valley, spent some time as a grad assistant at WVU with Don Nealon, worked with the late, great Ralph Hensley. Tell you more about these two coaches in a moment.
Mark, it looks like Steve Edwards Jr.'s decided to challenge his offense, say, hey, guys, if we can't get a yard, we probably don't deserve to win this quarter. He's talking about winning each quarter, fourth and about a yard to go.
Hand it to Black, slams through. He's got the first down yardage. First downs here in this opening quarter being brought to you by Bridge Valley Community and Technical College. Find your path.
Yeah, there's geniuses if they make it, and then armchair quarterbacks when they don't, but great job there by Black slashing through the line there. You see, he's going to be a special young player as he develops.
Black gets the call again, and Logan Henson there at the defensive end, and boy, running quickly here is GW, and Black will get the call one more time.
He's going to get a lot of touches, Mark. What a really good-looking freshman he is that will develop. 5'9", 185. You don't really see that so much out of ninth graders, but he's expected to be a workhorse here tonight up on the hill.
Judson Rich, Marcus Lewis in on the stop, third down play here. Persinger fires and the catch is made. Cannon Dillon makes the stop. And the catch hauled in by Samaji Wesley. Can catch, he's got speed. And another Bridge Valley first down.
Yeah, really nice ball there thrown by Persinger. I mean, good plant, good footwork.
8-yard pickup now, go back to the ground, and it will be Black. Stop made by Judson Rich.
Yeah, they just keep wearing out that right side. They've got, a lot of power over there and some weight and a little bit of advantage on that right side. So you see that Jaden Black they just keep pounding it on that right side. So trying to wear down that defense a little bit. It was a smart move by Steve Edwards Jr. to go for it so he could not give the ball right back to Spring Valley.
And get this offense some rhythm, which they certainly have at the moment. Persinger squatting down, takes the snap, and Black. Waiting on him was Marcus Lewis, and Bo Christopher was there once again with the stop. Hannah talked about these two coaches. You put them together, nearly 50 years of coaching experience.
Yeah, the guys that's veteran around. We were talking before the game. I'm pretty sure that Steve Edwards Jr. has seniority. I know for sure in the Valley. He may have seniority throughout the state.
Persinger gets the snap, rolls, looks, guns, and the catch is made. Fires it right into the red basket of Kai Martin, and another Bridge Valley first down.
Yeah, good patience there by Persinger. Mark, you see this, a great kind of a delayed pattern there. You see Martin rolling out, and then he gets his release late, gets good separation, right on the money by Persinger. What a great ball.
3 first downs for the Patriots, and a nice piece of running there by Black. Well, you see young guys kind of emerge, and many times it happens right away, and that's just kind of the feeling you have here with Black at the moment. Second down, GW moving quickly, and this time Black going to be met by Judson Rich. Rich, 6'3", 231, a junior, plays on both sides of the football for Spring Valley. Sophomore starter last year, last 2 regular season games, and Brad Dingus says we just like him a lot.
Hey, Mark, you got to think about how impressive Jaden Black is. As many carries as he's had early in this game as a freshman. He's just kind of a workhorse, but what kind of shape he has to be in
3rd down and 4, and Black. They had a good burst there. Good job defensively by Zeke Lewis, the senior. And Zeke Lewis, 6'1", 209, has that motor. He returned that kickoff, 350-pound bench press, and he got Black. It's not easy to do. Black, he shoots into that line pretty quick.
Yeah, he's got good slashing moves, got great vision for a freshman, as you mentioned earlier, breaking all the Switzer's records in the junior high level. Here's 4th down.
Black gets away from one. Black, I believe, has gotten 1st down yardage. Indeed he has. Marcus Lewis made the stop. So another Bridge Valley Community and Technical College 1st down for the GW Patriots, decked out in the all maroon tonight.
Mark, that was all Jaden Black. They had him cornered on the edge. He wanted to bounce at the outside, made a really nice move to get away from one defender and get the 1st down. Critical there on 4th down. They would have turned it over on downs had he not got that.
Braden Edwards, the head coach's son, snaps it to Persinger. Black gets the call, and Black, he fights forward there for a few. Cam Purdue got him from behind.
You see what kind of strength Black has, Mark. Purdue had him by the waist, and he's still kind of lunging ahead, dragging Purdue along. The senior trying to hang on to keep him out of the end zone.
5'9", 185 is Black.
I don't think Coach Edwards is content with settling with a field goal here. It's 2nd down and about 5 to go for the touchdown.
Bobbled around there. Persinger does a nice job of gathering it in.
Yeah, I think there was some confusion there. It looked like they were going to do a direct snap to Black, and then it kind of like the last second, Persinger was able to put a paw on it to avoid a disaster.
Loss of 3 on the play. Marcus Lewis made the stop there. Christopher for Spring Valley came up hobbling just a bit. He's still in there. Persinger looking for Martin, a jump ball situation. Good defense there in the end zone.
Yeah, Caden Lovejoy there. He had some good hands. Good hands on both sides, Martin and Lovejoy. So a lot of people looking at it like they always want pass interference. Everybody's official until they have to go out there and do it, Mark.
Lovejoy, again, in the secondary there. And Brad Dingus says, makes me nervous starting my quarterback in the secondary. But he's the best we got. 25-yard field goal attempt here. Persinger, the holder. Edwards, the snapper. And the kicker is Teddy Smith. And he drives it through for the first points of the evening for the George Washington Patriots. Break in the action here. Both teams opening drives on the board. 7-3. Beautiful night on the hill here in the state capital city of Charleston. Okay. Jim, are you hungry?
I certainly am, Mark.
How about a Marco's Pizza delivery of the game? Marco's Pizza to the booth. Marco's Pizza is the delivery of the game, satisfying the FNR booth tonight, every night, every day of the week, and certainly our great crew. In fact, it was so good tonight, you and I were almost late to the party.
we really weren't talking. We were basically devouring.
All right, there you see Smith, the kicker for GW, and he drills a 25-yard field goal.
Mark, I'm sure Steve Edwards would have liked a touchdown, but then they've had their first negative play of the game, and it was down there on that third down critical snap, so he didn't want to take any chances. Wanted to get some points on the board for the Patriots, see if their defense can kind of stiffen here in the second possession for the Timberwolves.
All right, time for another West Virginia State Building and Construction Trades kickoff where the future is forged, and this will drive back Dillon and Dillon. A nice little stutter step there, and Dillon journeys out to the 42. A flag is down on the play, and we'll check the flag. Meanwhile, that drive, 18:58, taking 8:07 off the clock. Black, 11 carries for 38 yards. Our West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program scoring summary. Also doing our closed captioning tonight. Just like every play counts on the field, every decision counts behind the wheel. Put the phone down and keep your eyes on the road. Don't drive distracted. Put it down. Save a life.
10 yards, start a foul, first down.
And Jan Dills, proud to sponsor the streaming of tonight's FNR game on Facebook and YouTube. Injured in a car wreck, called Jan Dills Attorneys at Law. We won't take no for an answer.
Dillon with a pretty nice return, Mark, would have put him out past the 40. Now that holding penalty sets him back to about their 25 where they set up shop here on their second possession.
Caden Lovejoy ready to go to work. He made a nice play there defensively. And here is the handoff, and Cam Purdue with the run.
Yeah, Spring Valley's getting some great seals on those linebackers to cause that, to have those holes out on the edge, putting a lot of pressure on those corners to come up there and make that tackle.
6-yard pickup for Cam Purdue. 5'8", 204. Outstanding strength. I mean, strength and size has been part of the makeup of Spring Valley ever since the school opened in 1998, a consolidation of old Buffalo Wayne, old Cerrito Canova, and old Vincent high schools. Lovejoy will fake the handoff and keep it. Nice play by Lovejoy. And he has first down yardage. Kai Martin making the stop. But that is a first down. A Bridge Valley Community and Technical College first down. Find your path.
Yeah, Mark, you see Lovejoy. I think that was a busted play. It looked like he was going to hand off, and the back was a little bit farther away from him to kind of see what kind of athleticism Lovejoy has. He's able to get 5 or 6 out of what was apparently nothing.
So fresh set of downs here as we wind down this first quarter of play. And we have a flag on the play, and I believe Hannah Klein is down on the field with our T-shirt gun, brought to you by the West Virginia Federal Credit Union. Experience the credit union difference. Looks like she's on a game show, and that's the prize.
What's behind door number 1, Hannah? Oh, it's T-shirt.
Yeah,
A little motion penalty there on the Timberwolves. Cost them 5 as they start their fresh set of downs in their second possession.
Lovejoy under center. Braxton Carter is the center. And boy, nowhere to go there for Cam Purdue. Good pursuit by GW.
Stacked up by a bunch of guys there in the middle there, but Purdue, you kind of see what kind of strength he has. Mark had 3 guys on him refused to go down. He was not going to go down on the turf, but good job by the Patriots stiffening here, putting Spring Valley in an awkward position. They haven't had this type of down and distance since they started the game.
Javon Davis led the charge there for the Patriots. Time going to click away here in this first quarter. Again, both teams scoring on opening possessions of the game, and at the moment, Spring Valley leads it by a count of 7-3. The school bus stop of the game presented by NHTSA, and we will be bringing you the school bus stop of the game later tonight. Here we've seen some good stops already. We head to the second. Spring Valley on top of the homestanding Patriots here on FNR. Second quarter we go. Brad Dingus and his Spring Valley Timberwolves leading it by a count of 7-3. Coach Dingus now in his 18th season. Former Buffalo Wayne standout. We'll see a picture of him later when he was a running back, and he's done a great job there with this program. That, well, I tell you, talk about the programs that helped form Spring Valley High School. They were all sensational. Vincent, Buffalo Wayne, and Cerrito Canova, and Steve Edwards Jr. Season number 30, 203 wins. Said no place I'd rather be than right up here on the hill. He played here, graduated in 1979, starred for his father, a great tight end, a great linebacker, wore number 7. Been a lot of great number 7s here at George Washington High School. Steve Edwards Jr., Ryan Switzer, Grant Wells. So GW with 4 first downs in the opening quarter, 3 for Spring Valley. GW 35 rushing yards, Spring Valley 60. Passing yards, GW had 23. GW had the football for 8 minutes, 3:53 for Spring Valley. Second quarter now, first play. Dillon in motion, gets the handoff, and Cannon Dillon spinning and being taken down at the 41-yard line. Kai Martin makes the stop.
Nice job there by Dillon. He's hanging on to that ball. They were grabbing at it for dear life. Got a good chunk of it back, trying to get a manageable third down. Mark, you talked about Steve Edwards Jr. He's in elite company with 203 wins. I think he's about the 23rd or 24th coach in the state of West Virginia with 200 wins all time. That's impressive.
Third down and 6.
It's Could really pep this Patriot defense up. They could stop this one, Mark. Now the officials will stop it for them.
They're grilling out here on the hill, Jim. You can see the smoke and you can smell the aroma here. Boy, what a setting here. Let's hear Mr. Wilkinson here.
Got emotion, I believe.
False start on the offense. Left side of the line. 5 yards, completed stop, 3rd down.
Now Brad Dingus can't be happy with the penalties.
No, they've had 3 so far. I don't believe GW's had any, but pretty much erasing Dillon's effort there on that 2nd down, moving the yard markers back for kind of changing their play of what they're wanting to do. Might see our actual first pass from Lovejoy here, Mark. It's possible, but unlikely with this setup.
Replacing Liam Murphy, who was a starter last year. And here is Dillon again, and Dillon draws a crowd. Well, leading the charge there, Grant Hansel, the nose tackle, number 67, and then others joined in. Davis was there, and a good defensive stop by the Patriots.
Yeah, nice job of staying home by the Patriots off of this reverse. They see it going one way back to the other. A couple guys were faked out, but they were able to contain him, forcing Spring Valley's first punt of the game, Mark.
Spring Valley scrimmaged Oak Hill and Wayne. GW scrimmaged Wayne and Mann in a try scrimmage and then took on Morgantown last Thursday. Well, the punter is Kane. And see where they marked the football. Looks like about the 22-yard line is where George Washington will start it out here, trailing 7-3.
Yeah, you like that as a punter, Mark, because of the distance with 0 returns. So.
Yeah, 40-yard punt there by not really a thing of beauty, but gets
well,
the job done.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it looks like out there. What matters is the effectiveness. 40 with a 0 makes it a net 40. Nice average there.
Miguel Kane does a lot of different things for Spring Valley. In addition to punting the football, and here's Persinger in trouble, and he will be taken down.
Yeah, Logan Henson there, the senior defensive end, he just stayed at home, made a nice open field tackle there on Persinger. They've been keying so much on Jaden Black that everybody's kind of collapsing down in the middle. Persinger took it out and decided he'd bounce it on the edge, but wasn't very successful in that try.
Loss of 1 on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 11. Persinger rolls left, fires, and the pass is going to be picked off there by Lovejoy. Well, we mentioned that Brad Dingus says, it makes me nervous to have my quarterback starting in the secondary, but he said, we need him back there, and he shows why.
Yeah, he's not nervous now as he just read that one right. He saw the drag coming across the middle. Looked like Martin was the intended receiver, but a little bit of an underthrow. This is a tough pass, Mark, when you see, we look at the replay here. You see Persinger has to roll out to his left. He's a righty, so he wasn't able to get as much on it as he wanted, plus he kind of was a little bit short on that. That intended pass was Jamari Smith, on that, not Martin.
Logan Henson was bringing the pressure on Persinger. So Spring Valley with the football, 1st and 10. Handed off to Kane, and Kane will be upended. Nice defensive play for George Washington as Kyan Davis, the middle linebacker, comes up and makes the stop. Davis, 5'9", 170, a senior. Bit undersized in the middle there, but tremendous quickness. Going to have a penalty call here. We'll get the word from Mr. Wilkinson.
And Mark, you talked about earlier, I'm sure Brad Dingus not happy with the penalties. That's the 4th one already, the 2nd one of a major yardage infraction. So kind of stepping them back, putting them behind the sticks for sure.
There's another look at the interception. Yeah, and Lovejoy circles around, and
great eyes there by Lovejoy.
First and 19. Lovejoy hands it off, and, well, a tough cookie is Purdue with that GW defense. Some tough cookies as well. Davis on the play.
Yeah, you see Clyde May in there too, in there stiffening up on that left side, putting more pressure on them, basically forcing Spring Valley to throw. They're not a team that will throw the ball a lot, and they're not going to make any mystery about it.
Well, you look at Davis, that frame, 6'5", 240. You think some colleges can add to that. And Clyde May, he's just a player. Second down and 19. Lovejoy looking to throw, fires, and just cannot connect with Dillon there. Dillon had a step.
Yeah, he had a step on the secondary. He was got a little bit behind Kyle Martin there, but Lovejoy wasn't able to connect on it. But you see how they all collapse there in the middle. Really no pressure on Lovejoy at all. Had all kinds of time. Probably could have waited till he got just maybe another step full of separation.
Third down play here for the Timberwolves, 0 for 1 in the first attempt of the evening. Offensive line with Jake Van Arsdale, the tight end, Mikey Shy, left tackle, Judson Rich, the left guard, Braxton Carter, the center, Marcus Lewis, the right guard, and Maddox Barron, they like him, the right tackle. Lovejoy wants to keep. Lovejoy trying to turn it to the outside, and he is going to be stopped. Kai Martin will take him down.
Yeah, Mark, you're in a position here. You're at the 30, so, Coach Dingus is thinking it's fourth down. What good's a punt going to do? If it goes in the end zone, you get the ball out on the 20, so that's really not going to help you. You're gaining like 8 or 9 yards, so they could throw one in the end zone, Hail Mary, something like that. Try to get some positive yardage, perhaps, break a tackle, get something on the edge. He's over there talking about it.
Kai Martin got him from behind, and Jamari Boy Smith from the front side. Fourth down play coming up. 16 yards for a first down, and now a timeout has been called. They want to talk about it. And we will return here to Steve Edwards Senior Field on the Hill, George Washington High School, Spring Valley up 7-3. Spring Valley talking it over. Check out Maddox Barron there, number 79, Jim, 2-year starter, 6'5", 315. This is a school that has built some offensive linemen down through the years. Doug Nestor, Wyatt Milam, now playing for the Jacksonville Jags. Trevor Stacy, John Fry played at Bowling Green. Zach Williamson was outstanding at Louisville. Alex Locklear, Riley Locklear, Evan Ferguson, Bryce Biggs playing at Marshall now. I mean, incredible. Nestor was in NFL camps. And those guys, Brad Dingus says the great thing about guys like Nestor and Milam, they still come around.
That's really special. It makes these guys know that, when you come from where you are and you can still make it big time, they got to put in the work and they have to have the talent. Here we go, Mark.
Fourth down play, Lovejoy. Clyde May in his face, firing it toward the end zone. Incomplete.
It looked like they was trying to get that to Jake Van Arsdale, Mark. And
Van Arsdale is a converted guard. Well, we mentioned Ryan Switzer, one of the all-time greats here, West Virginia high school football, certainly at the University of North Carolina. But he doesn't, you know, maybe not even the most famous name in the Switzer family. His father, Michael, who is standing by with Hannah Klein.
Yeah, that's right, Mark. I put him on the spot. He asked me 2 seconds ago, what are we even talking about? And I said, you know, anytime we come to GW, we have to bug you. You're one of our favorite people. Always.
Well, this is my
23rd year.
23rd year.
And a lot of people, they'll see you down on the sidelines, but there's so much more to that.
Oh, yeah. It's, I mean, like I was talking to Michael Hughes in the locker room. I mean, I have studied the game for my entire life. I've been around it. That was my goal, was to do this type of thing. Everybody thinks I started because Ryan was playing football, and I was doing that before he was playing football and covering sports and, you know, everything like that. It just so happened that once he started playing, then I got the opportunity to do that. And then get around incredible people. Coach E and I have been friends for much longer than that, and being up here, you know, so it's kind of special because this is his 30th year, and I've covered about everything for him. And, yeah, to have that collection of images, all the guys that have come through here. I mean, not just Ryan, before Ryan, and you know, just the number of players, good guys. I see them now. Several of them I've shot their kids now in youth football. They're coming up, and I'm going, wait a minute now, you were just here. Like, you know, so that's very rewarding. This is a great community up here, the people that I get to be around. But then, like I said, I love football. And the fact that Ryan is still doing it and coaching now, and I get to, you know, be around it and at the collegiate level with him and still have that connection. You know, we're going out to Tulsa in 2 weeks because he's starting his 3rd year there, and my nephew is the starting safety for a Navy. So that they're playing Navy, and so that's a neat family dynamic for us. So that'll be really cool.
Always busy.
Yeah, yeah. You got to love what you're doing. So just
All
like
right.
that.
Looks like that. I'll let you get back to work, okay?
Appreciate it. It's good seeing you, Hannah.
Mark, I'll be back.
All right, tell Mr. Switzer we said hello, one of our all-time favorites. Although he just missed an opportunity on a great catch there by Kai Martin. But he's made a great photo snaps down through the years. A first down, our first downs here in this second quarter being presented by the Clay Center, where science and art come alive. Hand off to Black, and Black will take it near the 5-yard line. But what a guy Michael Switzer. I met Michael, and we were just talking on the sidelines years and years ago, Lately Field, and he said, you know, I have a son. He's playing football, and I think he likes it. I think he's got a chance to be pretty good. And I think he was still he was at John Adams then, and I always loved it.
kind of shows that humility that Michael has.
And just, wow, and going there to see him play and all the memories at North Carolina. Shoot it out, and the catch is made. Twisting and turning and darting away from the defense. Samaji Wesley, the senior, makes the tackle. Dillon comes up with the stop. And so now GW is starting to show some of those skill guys they have.
Yeah, you see that Persinger throw to Kai Martin, Mark. Safety a little late getting over there, but it was an absolute dime right on stride. And that previous big play there by the Patriots. Nice footwork here. You see getting that, trying to stretch a ball out and ends up kind of losing it, but luckily for them that ball bounces out of bounds for GW.
They had a really good offseason, that being Wesley, according to head coach Steve Edwards Jr. Michael Switzer, I mean, he has created memories for young people that will last an eternity for their families, and not just GW kids, but all around the valley and beyond. So great that we could get a chance to talk with him. Mentioned Ryan is still in coaching. He is at Tulsa on the collegiate level. Breaking the action, 5:45 to go, 7-3 game. George Washington talking it over here on the hill. 7-3 game with 5:45 to go, and the Patriots want to punch it in and taste the lead for the first time here tonight. What is the alma mater of the talented Jennifer Garner?
GW. I mean, you know for sure GW is going to try to put pressure. They're 2 yards out, so you know pretty good chance Black's going to get the ball, at least this carry, maybe even both of them.
Clyde May is in the backfield for the Patriots. Persinger gets the step. He'll follow May, and Persinger fights his way. Did he get in?
If he didn't, he's about as close as you can get.
Timberwolves slowed him up. Christopher coming out of there. He's fired up. And also on the bottom of that pile, so there's where they spot it, was Marcus Lewis.
It's about a what, Mark? A football length, perhaps? It's inside the 1 yard line, so it's a half a yard to go. The GW crowd getting into it.
Persinger, well, they got in there, and Christopher took him down. And it's going to be Spring Valley's football. The Timberwolves hold the Patriots out. And Spring Valley will now start at the 2 yard line, but a big time stop by the T-Wolves.
Yeah, great momentum shifter there for the Timberwolves. They had the ball inside the 1, you'll see here. Just not enough push there up front for those final 3. A lot of stacking on the inside from the Timberwolves. Not able to get the momentum. Perhaps they could have looked at a handoff to get a guy a little bit, a couple of yards, either a leap over or just a drive behind one of those guys. Nonetheless, turnover on downs.
Frank Arthur is the defensive coordinator for Spring Valley, so Lovejoy just trying to get a little bit of breathing room there. The Spring Valley coaching staff for Brad Dingus, again Frank Arthur, the defensive coordinator. Jeremy Eastwood, former Sissonville great, played at Marshall. He coaches the DBs. Eric Johnson, the quarterbacks. Bo Miller, wide receivers coach, and also a great girls basketball coach. Mentioned all those great linemen at Spring Valley, and one of them being Trevor Stacy. He coaches the offensive line. Cody Shy, the cornerbacks, and another outstanding lineman from Spring Valley, Zach Williamson, on that Brad Dingus staff. Here is the handoff, and it's going to be Kane, and there just has not been much for Kane tonight. Davis is there on the play, and also coming through, Kion and Vaughn Davis. Tough kids.
Yeah, inching their way, Mark. I got a yard on first down, yard on second. Now we're looking at 3rd and 8, deep in their own territory. They're not likely to throw it. We're only looking at about 3:50 left on the clock to finish the half, so look for GW to stack that box and look anything that's misdirection. They tried to do that earlier. GW stayed home. Let's see what happens on this play.
Hand it off here to Dillon, and Dillon slips away. There's a flag out. That's first down yardage for Spring Valley if.
Good seal, but I think it was, I'm pretty sure, well, I'm not going to say anything, Mark. I've been caught on the bad side before. We'll just check it out here in a minute.
In the crew tonight, Jason Wilkinson, the referee. Alex Kingery, the umpire. John Hardy, the line judge. Charles Short, the head linesman. Robert Dooley, the field judge. Nelson Cunningham, the side judge. And Eric McClung is the back judge. Another look here.
You see, when you put those arms on the inside and the outside, they're going to call that about every time.
So the football on the 3, 3rd down with 3:30 to go in the first half. 7-3 game.
Derek Valentine, the junior there, linebacker, was held up, wasn't able to get the edge.
Fake it to Kane. Lovejoy tossing it out. Firing in the direction of Zeke Lewis, but it's going to go incomplete. Jan Dills is proud to sponsor the streaming of tonight's FNR game on Facebook and YouTube. Injured in a car wreck, call Jan Dills, attorneys at law. We won't take no for an answer. A punting situation here for Spring Valley.
Yeah, Mark, Zeke Lewis, you see, he was open there out in the flat, but again, Spring Valley not really designed. Their program isn't designed for the throw, so Lovejoy not that comfortable with the rollout, so missed him up high. So now we'll see what kind of field position the Patriots can come away with.
Kane had a 40-yard punt earlier. Boy Smith is back deep for the Patriots.
Got a little bit of that rolling soccer style kick the last time. He's talking about he cannot participate. I guess he'd come off the field. There they're talking about Day Page.
Page's older brother Corbin was a standout player to WVU. Another little roll here for a Kane punt that will be marked at the 31-yard line. So GW, well, they got stopped there and didn't get it in, but they're going to have pretty good field position here to start this drive.
Yeah, they're going to be starting around the 30-yard line of Spring Valley. Plus, they have the weapons with Kai Martin and be able to throw the ball deep to these guys on offense. You've got Samaji Wesley and another wide out. And Jamari Smith, Kai Martin, these guys are good weapons for Cy Persinger.
So Persinger goes back in the gun and awaits the snap from Braden Edwards, the head coach's son. They'll give it to Black, and Black, wrapping him up around the ankles was Miguel Kane, and then Bo Christopher gets him high and takes down the talented freshman running back for George Washington.
I know one thing that Steve Edwards Jr. doesn't want is for Spring Valley to get the ball back. So he's going to work his clock all the way down to the half, kind of chip away, do what he needs to do. He doesn't have any timeouts left in this half, so everything he's doing is deliberate based off of that clock.
Persinger sets up, guns. He's got Black, who will find his way into the end zone. Almost backpedaled in.
Well, back in Black as he goes across the plane of the end zone, Mark.
This and every touchdown is brought to you by our corporate sponsor, Poco Valley Bank.
27-yard touchdown play from Cy Persinger to Jaden Black, and GW owns the lead for the first time tonight. And now Teddy Smith will try to make it a 10-7 game. Grant Hansel will have to come out.
Yeah, one of the points of emphasis here from the officials this year has to do with the equipment. And these guys don't have their equipment ready when they get ready for the snap. They have to come out and put somebody else in.
Persinger the holder after throwing the touchdown pass. Edwards the long snapper, and Lovejoy racing across.
I think Lovejoy is just going to try to scoop the ball up, head in the opposite direction. I don't think it'll change Coach Edwards' position on still wanting to kick. Smith is an exceptionally good kicker, so you want that three-point differential. Talked about earlier that Steve Edwards Jr. didn't want to give him the ball back. He didn't expect to score that quick either. Well, half the distance of three was a yard and a half. Half the distance yard is 0.75.
Spring Valley's worked a lot on special teams and blocking kicks. And just a little
They're definitely wanting to block the kick. So you started at the three. Half the distance on that penalty puts you at the yard and a half. Then half the distance of that penalty would be 0.75 of a yard. So they're at the 0.75 yard line right now. About the shortest extra point Smith will have to attempt this year, I'm sure.
Well, now having to check out for the Patriots was Seth Allen Boone.
Grant Hansel coming back in.
Hansel now back in. Snap, the hold, the kick, and it is up, and it is good.
Yeah, Persinger with a great bomb there. A little bit of pressure on him, and then Jaden Black able to get it and kind of work his way into that end zone, backing it in. Put GW on top.
Our T-shirt gun is brought to you by the West Virginia Federal Credit Union. Experience the credit union difference. And there is Hannah Klein once again.
Did she color coordinate her outfit with the gun, Mark? I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Miss West Virginia candidate. The talented Hannah Klein, and there's the talented Jaden Black. And the talented Terry Burhands has come up.
We have a celeb in the studio with us here, Mark.
Don't forget, coming up on our Huntington Mall halftime.
He's road
report,
tripping.
We got the Scholar Athlete of the Week, presented by Polka Valley Bank. Halftime stats and highlights. Score big at the Huntington Mall. From fashion finds to family fun and delicious dining, we've got everything you need to win the day. Shop, play, and dine. It's always game time here at the Huntington Mall. Our Huntington Mall halftime report. Terry Burhands is bringing food, drinks with Diane Wilson, and Terry is about to go down. But we saved him. All right, on the kick, and returning it was none other than the Spring Valley quarterback back there returning the kick, Caden Lovejoy. So now Spring Valley behind here, Jim, and see what they can do here with 2:21 to go in this first half of action. Boy, this has been a dandy here in this first half.
It sure has. Now, Spring Valley like to script it like they did their first possession, where they had 3 plays and just started chunking things off. But that's GW's defense has really stiffened here in the second quarter, been very stingy on the yardage.
Lovejoy turns, hands it off, and fighting through. Well, that was Purdue. Host of Patriots in on the stop. Jericho Henry was in there. Henry, a sophomore linebacker, usually, but playing cornerback tonight.
He'll move him around. He's got a lot of athleticism out there on that field, Mark. They just kind of came out of the gates a little bit slow, but they woke up in that second quarter, took the lead, and see what kind of response the Timberwolves can come with 1:40 on a rolling clock left. Coach Dingus does have 2 timeouts left.
Lovejoy handing it off, and it was Miguel Kane getting the stop. Again, this young man had waited and waited and waited and waited for this opportunity to get back out on the field. You know, boy, again, he was on the verge of 1,000 yards a season ago, and the injury took him out of the action. And Brad Dingus said, you know, really just changed, you know, kind of the complexion of our offense.
When you have a guy that's a workhorse that's really that good, and then he goes down with a broken leg, and Coach Dingus talked about it wasn't just a regular break. He said it was a real nasty break, and, you know, that sometimes can play mentally on you. But Miguel Kane, he's certainly a kid that's worked hard in the offseason, gotten himself back in position where he can be a threat on the offense, as well as the defense, being a linebacker there for that Timberwolves defense.
We mentioned the coaching staff for Spring Valley. Michael Kearns grew up in Clay County, the running back defensive coordinator. Mike Damas, offensive line, linebacker. Joe Craffey, wide receivers, defensive backs. Tim Flatley, wide receivers and DBs as well. Paige Perry on the defensive line, a Stonewall graduate. Bobby Grish Abel is the OC, coaches the quarterbacks. And Steve Good, who is the son of a late great coach in the Kanawha Valley, Delmer Good, also on Steve Edwards Jr.'s coaching staff. 1:17 to go here in the first half. Spring Valley with the football. And Jim, you're a music guy. Steve Edwards Jr., his 3 daughters, Stevie for Stevie Nicks, Carly for Carly Simon, and Taylor for Taylor Dane.
There you go. Of course, she's a little bit too old to be Taylor Swift. Don't think she was on the move at that time.
Steve and his wife, Michelle, proud parents of those 3 girls, and of course, son Braden. Here's Mr. Wilkinson.
On the offense, the right side of the line is lined up in the neutral zone. 5 yards, still 3rd down.
I can guarantee you, Mark, one thing that Coach Dingus is going to talk about at halftime is we got to take care of these penalties. I know it's early in the season, but they've had 3 holdings, 2 of them critical. One on a first down to get them out of that hole. Wasn't able to do that. Now they're got their backs against the wall here on 3rd and 9.
Lovejoy gets the snap. And the ball is loose, and I believe Clyde May is on it. He is.
Recovered by number 3.
That squirted out of the hands
Fumble recovery.
of Kane and GW. Well, the 1:10 showing on the clock here.
And that turnover.
Take another look, Jim.
Yeah, it squirts out there, shoots up there. Nice arm on. You see the ball. And then Clyde, thank you, sir. May I have another?
Seth Allen Boone, I think, jarred it loose from behind. Seth Allen Boone, a senior, very strong, played a little last year. He's got a great motor, according to talking to these coaches. And they mentioned a lot of guys. Boy, he's got a great motor. He's got a great motor. That means they just love to fly around. Seth Allen Boone with a big play there. Clyde May with the recovery. See what GW can do with it, and they'll get it to Black and Jaden Black. He's been impressive in this first half. Cam Purdue makes the tackle.
Yeah, out of timeouts are GW, so they're going to have to play up-tempo here. I'm sure that Persinger is going to try to strike one down the field here inside the 30 with less than a minute to go in this half.
9-yard gain for Black, and we'll bring up 2nd and 1 for GW.
Give it to Black again, and Black will be corralled there from around the ankles by Judson Rich.
Yeah, trying to move the sticks, at least get the clock stopped with inside of 40 seconds, move the chains. They'll start cranking it up again. They really need to hurry up here. They want a couple of shots at the end zone.
Clay Center first down. The Clay Center where science and art come alive. GW trying to add to its lead. Persinger gunning, and the catch is made. Dillon will take down the receiver, Kai Martin. Martin with a big catch. Dillon, touchdown saving tackle. Another Clay Center first down. GW on the move. 19-yard pickup. Persinger gives to Black, and Black slips away from one defender, and then finally they get him down. Now, Logan Henson nearly had him. Black got away from him.
Timeout.
GW calling the time.
I wasn't sure they had one left, but apparently they had one left in the bank. Didn't reflect it on the
9 seconds to go. Well, they've got Teddy Smith out there. He's chatting with Michael Hughes. And we talked about Michael Hughes and his great career here at GW, and then went to App State and played for a former GW great in Sean Clark, who's now coaching in Orlando at UCF.
Got a lot of options here for GW's offense, Mark. They do have a timeout left. So they got some options. They could try to run it. They could try to throw it. They only got 9 seconds. So they can't have something that really develops slowly out on the edge. They need either something quick up the middle on a trap with Black, or something fading over to Martin, or one of the other talented GW receivers.
You see Maddox Barron there, number 79, going to bring him in here. And well, looks at this point as though they want more than the field goal.
Well, they're going to give it a shot. They got a timeout left. If you want to really put some more pressure on. Here's the other thing, too, Mark. If you remember the start of the game, Spring Valley won the toss, took the ball, so we know who gets the kickoff start third quarter.
Persinger rolls. Persinger fires, and off the fingertips of Samaji Wesley.
Pretty good-looking ball there. Persinger maybe just a tad high off of Wesley, throwing it there to his right, kind of floated out just off the fingertips. Not sure he would have got both of them in anyway.
Zeke Lewis was bringing the pressure for Spring Valley.
Mark,
Two outstanding programs.
They're not interested in a field goal here.
GW has played in 48 playoff games. 35 for Spring Valley. Rolling Persinger, firing, and Black just cannot stretch out enough. Well, he's 5'9".
Well, yeah, and Persinger's kicking himself on that one, Mark. That was a misread. You had the corner crash in on the slant pattern, and then you had Black wide open there right at the goal line. Fortunate for GW, there's still a tick left on the clock to where they can still try to capitalize on a field goal.
Braden Edwards is the holder, or is the snapper. Persinger is the holder, and Teddy Smith. Braden Edwards, the son of Steve Edwards Jr., very smart football player. Yep, and I think the Timberwolves were a little antsy there.
Been a little antsy the last couple of extra point, the previous touchdown drive by the Patriots, and now here going for the field goal. Yeah, Mark, we're doing our math again. We was at the 5, 2.5 here, half the distance. Going to put it down to the 2.5.
Smith, 25-yarder earlier in the game. He is just a 10th grader. Swings his powerful right leg into it, and GW will take a 6-point advantage into the locker room at halftime. A couple of field goals by Smith. Touchdown, pass play, Persinger to Black. Spring Valley struck first as Dillon scored, and a good first half of football. Steve Edwards Jr. going to join Hannah Klein for some first half thoughts here. Good football game. Opening Thursday night of action. Hannah taken away with the 30th year head coach.
You guys are going into the half up, but still trying to work out those first game jitters. Kind of talk about their performance so far.
Well, we missed a couple really good opportunities to get 7 points on the board, but kids are playing hard. Put ourselves in a good situation there, and our kicking game's working for us. So playing really good defense right now, but it's a whole nother half.
How do you manage that emotion going into the second half?
Well, I'm just hoping that they realize the importance of what's going on here, and we're just going to try to hang on.
Coach, I appreciate you. Good luck. Marco, go ahead and sit it back.
All right, Hannah, great job, and our appreciation to Steve Edwards Jr. for his time at the break. We always love hearing from the coaches. The Dandy here at halftime on the Hill, George Washington High School campus, and the home-standing Patriots with a 13-7 lead. Our Huntington Mall halftime report is coming up. You're watching the Go-Mart Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week, presented by Glenville State University, a special Thursday edition here in the state capital city of West Virginia.
Hey everybody, I've got Margie Valdez here at the Huntington Mall. You're helping us with Friday Night Rivals, and it makes everybody feel good that's on board.
Absolutely. We love helping out with Friday Night Rivals because with high school football, it's such an exciting time for our community, and that's our shoppers.
Families, players, coaches, the whole group.
The whole group.
And they can come to the mall and get it
Right.
all. You guys are starting up your calendar year, and things are happening. School starts all the way through the holidays.
Oh yeah, we just finished up with our back to school events, and now we're gearing up for fall. You know, and when October gets here, we've got so many different things happening in October, clear up to the end to our big trick or treat that we do here at the mall. And then guess what? Santa arrives.
Jing, jing, jingle, and have breakfast with him, and all the things that
And
go
then it's
along.
just a whirlwind of fun holiday stuff.
Bring the family here to
Yes.
take photographs, to make memories.
Yes.
Breakfast with Santa down the road.
Yep. We had last year we did breakfast with Santa with Dave and Buster's. They may be bringing that back again this year. You know, and we just do like pet photos with Santa. I mean, we keep Santa busy. We've got Santa doing all kinds of different things.
Before you know it, football season is going to be, 13 weeks, 13 weeks, and you guys are helping out so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be over, and then they can come and see you, and they can come and see you during the season as well.
Absolutely. Come, you know, shop, dine, play. I mean, you know, that's what we do here.
Thank you so much for
Thank
helping
you.
us. It's part of our community. You help us, you help them, and you help the people that come visit the mall.
Absolutely. Come shop.
With Margie Valdez, let's go play ball.
Let's go.
The best Thursday night lights and Friday night rivals highlights from across the country.
Sweet wine pump fakes, goes end zone wide open, and one-handed catch. Are you kidding me?
Well, I'll tell you that you're going to watch the defender falls down, and Sheffield still has to make a spectacular grab.
Allen rolling, has time if he wants to run. Rolling has a guy over the middle. It's intercepted right into the hands of Logan Steele, and he's gone. No one will catch the long jump gold medalist and the second in the 100, Logan Steele.
Oh, new running back in the ball game, and he got tattooed and suplex. Speaking of wrestling, that was bad enough right there. And then, bam.
Big number 90, Maurice Horry right there. He got his money.
Wolf fires downfield. He has a man, but lobs it up. It's a 50-50 ball, and it's picked off by Manheim Township. Coming up and making the interception is Dixon. It was a 50-50 ball, and Dixon comes up and has the INT. Dixon, the 5'11".
Does it get off? Ready, go. Off the line of scrimmage. Look at the speed, the quickness. Good recovery there. Gets it back over to the sideline. Excellent execution for Champ.
Well, this is a halftime interview brought to you by Kia Dutch Miller, and I'm here with Jim Crawford, the principal for George Washington High School. So excited to see you again. Another year of football is here.
Here we go. Here we go.
All right, $500 going directly to the school. I'm going to put you on the spot. Any idea what you want this to go towards?
Yes, we were just talking about this afternoon, and we believe we need to get a nice color printer for our students to use to print out things for their projects.
I'm sure last year you probably ran through that.
Oh gosh, yes. It's very well needed.
How awesome is it knowing that football season is back and we're right at home?
It gets the year started off with a bang, and our kids love it.
All right, well, $500 going directly towards you guys.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely, and again, this is a halftime interview brought to you by Kia Dutch Miller.
Thank you, Hannah, and many thanks to Principal Jim Crawford Jr., class act, and a great school he runs here on the Hill. It is time for our first half stats presented by Go-Mart. Go for good times, go for Go-Mart, and there you have it, Jim. Passing yards, GW with the edge.
Yeah, 174-0, and of course I'm sure Coach Dingus addressed that penalty issue. 10 penalties in the first half for Spring Valley, 58 yards. Penalty-free for Steve Edwards Jr.'s squad in the first half. He'd love to see more of that in the second half for sure.
Have ourselves a 13-7 game here as we get set for this third quarter to begin.
Mark, we've got to see how that GW defense will continue to stack up. Coach Edwards talked about that as being one of the things that was a positive for his team. He'd like to punch that in, end up getting a field goal. But those front four guys up front for GW, Javon Davis, Landon Hamilton, Grant Hansel, and Seth Allen Boone have done a fantastic job after that first series. So we'll see what he has in store start this third quarter.
Spring Valley leads the series 12-9. There have been 2 playoff games in the series. Each team at one point has owned a 5-game winning streak in this series. Kicking it off is Cheshire. And making the grab out there around the 26-yard line, Derek Valentine. So George Washington with the football, the lead to begin this third quarter of operation.
And no sense in taking one. He's not known to be a ball carrier type person, so Valentine's a linebacker. Smart of him just to do the fair catch, get settled down at the 26 and see what this Patriot offense can come out with.
Persinger was 10 of 14 passing in that opening half. The senior, and he'll go to Black to get it started here, and the young freshman who was impressive. Good pursuit, and staying right with him there was Cam Purdue to take him down. But how about this freshman?
This guy, he's really something special, Mark. I'm telling you, Jaden Black's got a tremendous future ahead of him. We talked about him, 5'9", 185. You don't see too many freshmen like that. But his field vision is simply phenomenal for a kid first time ever playing a varsity snap. He just seems like he's been in steps ever since he's ever touched the ball.
Steve Edwards Jr. says, well, he's just a natural, really a good kid to coach, coachable, and that means a lot. Persinger guns it and off the hands there of Kai Martin.
Yeah, thrown a little bit behind him. Wasn't able to get a lot of zip on that. Persinger kind of threw a little bit off his back foot, wasn't able to come through on that when the ball trailing a little bit behind Kai Martin.
GW's had 3 Kennedy Award winners. Mike Estes in 1977 played at West Virginia Tech. David Baer was a great running back, and of course Ryan Switzer and Black will be slowed up there. Dillon coming in on the play along with Lincoln Davis. Davis is a senior and number 18, and Brad Dingus said, you know, there's a kid, that's what you love about high school football. He just earned his way. 4th down play,
Yeah, this one's a little bit more, as you remember earlier in the first half, Coach Edwards went for it on 4th and 1 in his own territory, felt comfortable at that time with the rhythm, and didn't want to take this. This is more than a yard, probably more like 1.5 yards, closer to 2.
Well, that ball will rest there at the 34-yard line. Titan Courts was the punter there for GW. T-shirts for tonight's game. We talked about the T-shirt gun and Bulldog Graphics. We thank them for providing the T-shirts for our T-shirt gun. 31-yard punt there for GW, and Spring Valley now with an opportunity here, trailing 13-7, and they were able to hold GW off on its first possession of this second half.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of that formation with that trips out there to the right and a single set back, Mark, trying to spread out that defense a little bit, give them some holes, seams to run through for the Timberwolves. Not tough sledding there on that first down.
Kane picking up one on the play. Brent Hansel, Casey Atkins there on the stop. A group of seniors for GW out of John Adams, 14 of them. A lot of kids transfer around this day and age, and so managed to keep hold of young men who feed this program, and down goes Lovejoy. Not much there. Hansel was there in on the play.
Yeah, he was going to be met there by Clyde May.
May was there.
Pretty smart effort there by Lovejoy to go down because he knew he probably wasn't going to win that battle. Giving up about 50. Mark, Spring Valley just, I think, just looking for something to spark that offense. They just dominated that first drive that they had, and they really haven't done a whole lot since.
Third down play, they are 0 for 4. Third down attempts and flags come out.
And it looks like we got another motion against Spring Valley. Certainly not what Brad Dingus wanted.
Again, Jason Wilkinson, our referee tonight. Alex Kingery, the umpire. John Hardy, the line judge. Charles Short, the headlinesman. Robert Dooley, the field judge. Side judge is Nelson Cunningham, and Eric McClung is the back judge.
Yeah, Mark, that's got to wear on you mentally. You're 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7. You're trying to sled it through there. Now you're behind the sticks again with what appears to be an obvious throwing down, although they're not real comfortable with that.
Again, they threw it a good bit last few years. And Liam McGuire was the quarterback. Lovejoy looking. And he's going to let it fly and has a man, but a great defensive play made there by Clyde May. May is everywhere.
And May just got, it looked like he was kind of got burnt. That ball hung up there, gave May a little time to get back there and put his paw on it, knock it down.
May was guarding Day Day.
May
it was
Day.
May, and it was
May Day. There it was. It's kind of what that pass looked like, a May Day pass. So,
all right, Kane is the punter for the Timberwolves. The long snapper is Timmy Stevens. He's a junior. Kane gets his foot into it. Boy with the return, and going to be stopped there. Another flag will come out.
Yeah, that one came out really late, Mark, way after into the play. Looked like Boy was down already, so I don't know what they're calling. We'll just have to wait and see.
Jamari Boy Smith, Colton Mathis made the stop. Here's the call.
On the return, illegal blocking back, number 31 on the return team. 10 yards from the end of the run, first down. Media timeout.
Well, you heard him. We got to take a timeout, Jim. 13-7 game here. 8:38 to go here in the third quarter on our Go-Mart Friday Night Rivals. Game of the week presented by Glenville State University. Well, the love of the game of football came rather easily for Steve Edwards Jr. there on the left and his late father, Steve Edwards Sr. on the right. Named this field a few years back in honor of the great Steve Edwards Sr. He was an outstanding athlete at St. Albans, WVU, and then coached here in the Valley. Won that 1982 championship at Laley Field. North Marion was gunning for a third straight state championship, and the Patriots got the victory that night. I was there for that game. And it was
that's a special bond there, Mark, between father and son, and then son takes over and has his own legacy, which is really difficult to do.
Marco's Pizza, delivery of the game. Marco's Pizza to the booth. Marco's Pizza is the delivery of the game, satisfying the FNR booth tonight and every night. And our great FNR crew. I like how Steve Edwards Jr. was right there by the Marco's Pizza
he was
logo.
Right by the sign. we had to practice that once or twice, but we got it in.
All right, Persinger and company ready to go to work, and Black gets the call, and Black going to be met there by Cam Purdue.
Yeah, Purdue able to hold him up long enough for some of the secondary to come in for some support.
We had Matt Markham last week for Eastern in that Eastern local, Meg's local game. Matt Markham, 435-pound bencher, and Purdue there at 405.
Yeah, I think Markham's got just a few LBs on him, but
Persinger flicks it out here on the near side, and Wesley gets away from the defense, shoved out of bounds.
Yeah, Mark, that was really close to being a personal foul there. They had gotten one earlier. They had caught Spring Valley on that little extracurricular after the contact out of bounds, but fortunate for the Timberwolves, they didn't get flagged there.
Bridge Valley, first down. Bridge Valley Community and Technical College. Find your path. 12-yard gain. Football right at midfield. Braden Edwards snaps it back. Persinger gives it to Black, who finds the opening. Black still maneuvering down the sideline. Another first down. Dillon got him out of bounds.
Mark, I hate to belabor it, but, you know, Jaden Black is a kid that really has this gift of being able to see the whole field, seeing the seam whenever he's allowed to see the seam, not giving up on the run either. Stopped and hesitated there on the sidelines to get a couple extra yards. He is a special player right here, right up through the gut. Bounces it to the outside with his speed. He's got great balance and strength. You see right there just trying to carve out a couple more before he went out of bounds.
20-yard pickup on the play. Two-game winning streak for Spring Valley coming in. Again, they lead the series 12-9. 17-14 win for GW 2 years ago.
Yeah, not that this matters early in the season, Mark, because we're just trying to feel them out. But as far as rankings go, they got Spring Valley ranked ahead of GW, but anytime you come up here on the hill, Coach Edwards, he's going to give you all that you want and then some.
Black 20 carries, 86 yards. Mountain State Athletic Conference, Blue Division, Huntington 1, GW 2, Midland 3, Parkersburg 4, Hurricane 5. The Gold Division, Spring Valley 1, Capital 2, South Charleston, Riverside, and St. Albans. Fresh set of downs. Black gets the call and slams forward.
Yeah, you're not going to get him down with just a hand there. Nice try there.
Judson Rich in on the stop, along with Zeke Lewis for Spring Valley.
Maddox Barron got a paw on Black, but wasn't able to corral him down. Shows you what kind of strength this young man has.
And the Timberwolves appear to have jumped off sides.
Dead ball. Encroachment on the defense. 5 yards from previous spot. Second down.
There you go.
It's a bit easier.
Yeah, you go from 2nd and 7 to second down and 2, perhaps 3. In a lot shorter distance there. You got a lot of more options available to you. Persinger could take a crack into the end zone if he felt like it.
Guns it out. Intended for Black.
Yeah. Didn't get a lot on that pass. The ball was a little bit low. I thought Black should have probably hauled it in, but, Mark, what a workhorse he is. I mean, I think you said he's been carrying the ball 20 or 21 times already, and we're not even halfway through the third quarter.
They had a flag there on the play. Will go against George Washington. Each team this season with 3 new opponents. Parkersburg, Riverside, and Bridgeport on the Spring Valley schedule this season. Barnesville, Ohio, Jefferson, and Huntington new to the George Washington schedule. Barnesville, Ohio, the Shamrocks.
Shamrocks.
Second down, Black gets the call, and Black is taken down. Getting him high was Henson, and getting him low there was Zeke Lewis. If you are Spring Valley, you really need to make a stop here and keep this thing right where it is.
Yeah, one possession game, Mark. Actually, they're really just a touchdown and a point after touchdown ahead.
Well, another flag there.
And they threw a flag and they declined it. Of course, I think that in itself just takes the down away. There wasn't much gainage there by Black, so it's a clock conservative call by Brad Dingus there.
As Dingus told us through the week, we're not a team that, can, strike quickly. You're going to keep these things within striking distance as pass falls incomplete. Kai Martin was the intended receiver, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, I know Teddy Smith's got a pretty good leg, Mark, but this would be beyond a tester. You're looking at about a 49-yarder.
His coach, Michael Hughes.
Well, he could make it.
Steve Edwards is like, where are
Get
you,
him in
Michael?
there. Get him in there.
GW will go for it here on 4th down. Or so it does appear. Persinger gets down low. Here comes the heat. Get it to Black, and Black slips away, and Black is still going. Jaden Black. They had him dead to rights, and he just would not go down. A huge 4th down pickup, a 1st down, a Bridge Valley 1st down. Bridge Valley Community and Technical College finds your path. A 24-yard gain and a 1st down. And here goes Black, slanting to the outside and finding his way to the end zone. impressive.
Mark, I just don't have enough superlatives for this kid. Probably one of the better freshmen that I've seen come onto the high school scene in a very, very long time. He is something special.
Teddy Smith out of the Persinger hold. Edwards' snap up and good. Little look at it, Jim.
Yeah, left side block there. He just kind of sees the seam, dives into the end zone. He is something.
There he is, Jaden Black with the 7-yard dash. And we break away here on FNR. GW up 20-7. For our West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program scoring summary, 8 plays, 62 yards, 2:38 off the clock. Jaden Black with a 7-yard touchdown dash. He has a receiving touchdown as a freshman. And there is Brad Dingus in his playing days for old Buffalo Wayne High School. He's a 1994 graduate. Played for the great Ron Terry.
Wonder if Miguel Kane asked for that number, Mark. Got the same one as his coach. Double deuce.
Jan Deals is proud to sponsor the streaming of tonight's FNR game on Facebook and YouTube. Injured in a car wreck? Call Jan Deals, attorneys at law. We won't take no for an answer. And speaking of answers, Spring Valley must answer.
Yeah, they really got to answer here. Jaden Black actually would not take no on that 4th-down conversion. Super critical there for the Patriots. Got to get an answer here for the Timberwolves. They got to get something going. Been shut out since that first opening drive where it looked like they were going to dominate. They really haven't done much since, Mark.
Teddy Smith ready to kick it off. Dillon and Page are back deep. And it's going to be snagged by the Spring Valley quarterback, Lovejoy. Hannah Klein, as we bring you another West Virginia State Building and Construction Trades kickoff where the future is forged. Hannah Klein is with one of our all-time favorites, the Mountain State Athletic Conference Commissioner and our good buddy, the one and only Jim Hamrick. Hannah, take it away.
All right, guys. So I am over here at the end zone with the great Jim Hamrick. Of course, I had to come over and bug you this evening. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. And here we are in the capital city, and it's about 60 degrees, and it's at the beginning of the school year, and first night of football in West Virginia, and how could it get any better than this? And it's a great game. These two teams are really after each other. I'm very proud to be commissioner of the conference that has the parity that these teams have, and they're getting after each other.
And before commissioner, you kind of talk about your career, being a head coach and also being an athlete. Kind of talk a little bit about that.
My career, My career is that I was just an old dumb football coach for about 30 years, and then I became assistant principal at Parkersburg High and was the athletic director there, and spent a lot of money and had a good time there and had some real successful teams, and then moved into retirement. And I was always involved with the MSAC during my time at Parkersburg High, and then the late Fred Aldrich, of course, passed away, and I had kind of been his assistant, and they just moved me up, and I ended up being a commissioner since 2017, so 8 years, starting my 9th year.
So with this, you've seen so many different transitions. You know, you've seen, we're listening to our
Yeah. Official got to say it. Yeah. In America the way we are.
All right, Jim, I really appreciate you letting me come bug you.
You can do it anytime.
All right, Mark, I'll go ahead and send it back to you.
All right, Hannah, we thank you so much. Well, it will be a first down, but a penalty against Spring Valley. So while Hannah was talking to Jim Hamrick, we saw Cam Purdue in the backfield. He went with a little wildcat. Kane got a call there, so the Timberwolves trying to make something happen. Jim Hamrick didn't even touch upon his days as Spencer High's head football coach and won a state championship there with the old Yellow Jackets as they snap it to Purdue, and Purdue will be taken down there over on the far side of the field. But Jim had great teams there at Spencer High School, was the first ever head coach at what is now Roane County High School. So he led Spencer to a state championship game. They lost a tough one to East Bank, but they returned the next year. They had everybody back, and I still remember the comment he made. He said, we've got a lot of juniors. We'll be back. We'll be back. And they came back from 16 down at halftime, 16-0 to defeat Greenbrier West in what was just a great Class AA game. And then Roane County played for the AA state championship last season there in Charleston as the state championship games return to the capital city. But he's just been one of my favorites ever. And I was 15 years old. Ripley was playing Spencer. Dylan got the call there, and he comes up a bit slow. Ripley had a long winning streak going against Spencer. Go to the old Spencer High athletic field, and the Yellow Jackets knock off the Vikings. And they carried Coach Hamrick off the field. I remember seeing it. I'd seen it on TV, but I'd never seen it in person. And for a 15-year-old kid, I said, wow, that is something cool. Even though I just lost the game, I said, I want to get to know that guy. Been blessed to do so.
Great friend, classy gentleman.
Spring Valley 0 for 5 on third down plays. Good pickup there.
Yeah, going to have a good chance to really kind of punch this and get the first down. You see the workhorse coming in there for Spring Valley.
Purdue,
who used to be a lineman, now he's just toting the ball with all of his strength that he's got. It's going to take a lot to bring him down. We saw a lot of this last week, Mark. First game of the season out of the gates with Eastern and Meggs. Of course, it was much hotter that game than it is here, but that's the first guy we've seen that's come up with a little short with some cramping.
Jim mentioned being the athletic director for many years at Parkersburg High, and he was part of a state championship football program there. Parkersburg High opening its season tonight at Morgantown. Morgantown leading that game in decisive fashion. And that Morgantown team is a squad in which George Washington scrimmaged this time last Thursday at Pony Lewis Field.
You know,
you have a good team.
You talk about great coaches. Jim Hamrick is one of those guys that wherever he goes, he wins. He was at Spencer, he wins. He goes to Parkersburg, they win. He's the MSAC director. It's probably if not the best conference in the state, one of the best for sure. What a classy individual. I mean, great family. Been involved in athletics his whole life, Mark.
And his wife, Marge, she's tremendous. Son Jay was the quarterback of that state championship football team. Daughters Amy and Lori. And he mentioned, you know, taking over and being an assistant to Fred Aldridge, and I know you worked with him. We're going to have some shots of Fred probably in the fourth quarter, who had a lot to do with championship success here on the Hill. All right, Purdue gets the call, and Purdue is taken down. Good play there defensively by George Washington's Landon Hamilton, and GW comes up with the defensive stop and will take over.
Yeah, they were just starting to get a little bit of momentum. Spring Valley was moving the ball a little bit, got a couple first downs, and then a great defensive stand there by the Patriots on their home turf to flip it and lose it on downs.
First time they've tried a football game up here on the Hills. We take another look at Purdue trying to turn the corner, and great play by Hamilton, getting him from behind and down on the turf. On a Saturday afternoon, it was a battle of the Patriots. Persinger has to fall on the football. Good job by the senior QB. Really nice young man. Talked with him during a preseason interview, and boy, you get thrown into the fire like he did last year, and boy, the game slows down.
One of the things Coach Edgeworth talked about, he needed him and a couple others to step, but they had so many good vocal leaders last year. Now, there's a difference between a leader and a leader that leads by example and goes out there on their field. So you need other players out there that can do things in addition to what they do on the field, kind of motivate these other players and lift them up, and that's what he's expecting out of Cy Persinger this year.
2nd and 15. Persinger flicks it out on the near side. Wesley makes the grab and is taken down from behind by Dylan Samaji. Wesley can catch it. He's got some speed.
Looks like he kind of came up a little bit limping. They got that 4 yards back, 4 or 5 that they lost down on that muff snap. So 3rd down and what appears to be a throwing down for the Patriots.
And GW trying to lure the Timberwolves off sides. Just about made it happen.
Yeah, trying to shorten that 3rd down instead of 10, try to get 5 out of them.
Persinger has protection, guns it, and the catch is made there by Kai Martin.
Yeah, he's going to come up a little bit short, Mark. The ball got tipped on the front side of there. Martin, pretty good concentration on his part to be able to come down with it. You're going to see here, Persinger rolls out there to his right, sees Martin. You see that tip there on the line of scrimmage from big number 52, Marcus Lewis, the defensive tackle. Got another penalty.
It was like listening to the PA announcers here. So we get the call there from referee Jason Wilkinson. Justin Ballou is the PA announcer here at Steve Edwards Senior Field. He was an outstanding football player at Nitro and was a teammate of J.R. House. Of course, J.R. went on to do some great things, and the top quarterback in West Virginia, the recipient each year of the J.R. House Award. Justin coaches wrestling and track here, English teacher. Talented young guy. I've known him a long time. Here's Persinger. Going to let it fly, and Martin, the intended receiver. Dylan was there.
Yeah, they were looking for a flag. There's a little bit of hands there. Not sure there was a whole lot on that. Pretty good ball thrown there by Persinger. Try to go deep to hit Kai Martin. He's had some good catches earlier in the game. A little bit frustrated with that one.
Quartz is the punter, just a freshman. Edwards will snap it back. Good snap. Line drive, and Dillon's going to get away from it, and it'll be downed at around the 11-yard line by Samaje Wesley.
And Mark, the good and bad of that, it's a line drive punt, but the problem is they're really difficult to field because they're coming at you so quick, kind of like a fastball in baseball.
47-yard punt. We were talking about Big Steve and Young Steve, and how about Young Steve? Hey, he's got the punting form right there.
There's the form, there it is.
I think he told me that game was at Watt-Powell Park.
and for the record, Mark, that's chalk.
Yes.
You know, it's not paint, that's chalk.
It's not turf. We know that.
It's definitely not turf.
He's got pretty good form,
Not bad.
Yeah, really,
Good leg extension there.
All right, here's Purdue trying to turn the corner, and Cam Purdue will be dragged down from behind. Jericho Henry making the stop for GW.
Yeah, Purdue gets a corner there, and he's really hard to bring down. And you see Henry got him, but he took the horse collar with him, so he'll be tacking on some additional yardage to that decent run.
Now, Steve Edwards Jr. said that Henry has a knack for finding the ball. He did.
He found it. He found a little bit more in the ball.
Horse collar tackle.
I don't normally like to be the official, but that one was really simple.
Cam Purdue. Going to Purdue here, see if it's something going here.
Yeah,
trailing by 13.
Kind of abandoned the tradition where they started with Lovejoy.
Snap it here to Kane, and Kane bangs for a few. Vaughn Davis got there along with others, and that will do it. Third quarter has come to a close. We head to the fourth here on this special Thursday edition of the Go-Mart Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week, presented by Glenville State University. And don't forget the school bus stop of the game, presented by NHTSA, coming up after the conclusion of this battle in the Mountain State Athletic Conference between George Washington and Spring Valley, opening night of high school football in the great state of West Virginia. Back with the fourth in a moment. Virginia Federal Credit Union. Experience the credit union difference. Well, Hannah Klein in
Just
good
not
rhythm
seeing a
there.
more excited model person. There's the other gunslinger.
Wyatt Milam. What an outstanding career at West Virginia. Has made the roster of the Jacksonville Jags. And once upon a time, a Spring Valley football player. Third quarter, GW 12 first downs to Spring Valley 6. Spring Valley 144 yards on the ground. Through the air, GW 162. And Spring Valley has yet to net any yardage throwing the football. So,
yeah, it makes it almost imperative that this possession, Mark, as we start the fourth quarter, that clock will shrink. And you know Steve Edwards Jr. is going to do his best to shrink.
So we begin the fourth. And here's Kane, who can throw it with the left hand, and he's got Day-Day Page open, but it's short, and it's an interception for George Washington as Jamari Boy Smith comes up with the interception. There is a flag on the play at the 41.
Yeah, I believe I got that one, Mark. That's a definite. Adding insult to injury, they get the pick, and they're going to get a face mask.
All right. Jason Wilkinson and his crew will get it all sorted out for us. Well, Kane's got a pretty good arm and showing it off here with the protection. Heaves it up there. Just a little short though for Page, and Boy Smith reads it perfectly.
Yeah, he got his fingers there on the face mask. Costs him an additional 15. Sets GW up in great field position. We know where this ball's going.
Give it to Black.
He
just
keeps
kind
on,
of comfortably
just pops through there. He just keeps them legs churning. Mark, I know we've said a lot about him, but man, you're talking about a special player. There's skill sets that players have, and then there's super skill sets, and he's definitely in that top echelon right there.
So it'll be 2nd down and 4 here after Black gets 6 on the first down. Football at around the 32-yard line.
They won't even break the huddle till they get to about 12. Very deliberate in clock management. Steve Edwards Jr. been around a long time. He knows how to manage a clock.
Persinger hands it to Black, and Black just slams up in there. Kane was there. Christopher was there. Zeke Lewis was there.
Certainly 2-down territory, I think, for GW here. You're only looking at 3rd and very short, so I'm sure they will try to find a way. Jaden Black coming off, Mark. It looks like, maybe, I don't know, a little gimpy or maybe cramping. Or let's take a look at him. We'll just keep an eye on him as he goes off to the sideline. Well, maybe he's just thirsty.
Clyde May in the backfield. A couple of power backs as well in Casey Atkins. And Clyde May glides through there. Slowed up by Purdue, but not before he gets a Clay Center first down. Fourth quarter, our first down is being presented by the beautiful Clay Center, where science and art come alive.
Good job there by Clyde May, bouncing it out. Didn't see anything up the middle, was able to shuffle his feet a little bit, bounce it out to the outside. He's another one of those backs, Mark, really difficult to bring down.
GW with 13 first downs in the game. Power set to the left, and Clyde May grinding for yardage. as he goes inside the 20-yard line.
You know, one of the things you definitely want to do when you're this deep in that territory and you kind of got them on the ropes, you're up 2 possessions, is you don't want to cough that ball up. Keep that thing close to the vest and grind it out.
Many thanks to Expect Power, one of our sponsors here on our Go-Mart Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week, presented by Glenville State University. Special Thursday edition. We had a special Saturday edition. Black is back in the game, and Black goes right back to work as he goes inside the 10-yard line.
He got a little breather on the sideline. Mark came back inside, bounced that to outside with his speed. Easily able to get the first down.
It was George Washington for many years. Became GW. G-Dub even.
G-Dub. Shorten it up again.
So fresh set of downs following the Clay Center first down. And it's a Black, and Black slowed up there around the ankles by Logan Henson.
I can tell you they will not be in a rush here as Persinger kind of jogs his way over to the sideline to make sure he gets the exact play that he wants. Got 25 seconds left on the play clock. He's got plenty of time. They're going to be very deliberate. And when they snap it, and want to be very conservative. You got deep territory there for the Patriots.
Black gets the call, and Black spinning his way close to the end zone. GW's first football game, 1964 against Hamlin. They won 26-19. They only played 2 games in 64. It was mainly a JV season. So the first full season in 65 took on Stonewall Jackson. So again, they played games at Laidley, Oaksfield, Watt-Powell Park.
Kind of sad. Only one of those that you mentioned are still in existence, but not in the same place. We'll take that one down and call a timeout here. Looks like.
So we will break away here with GW threatening, and they own a 20-7 lead. Exactly 7 minutes to go here, and we will keep it right here instead. Looked like they were about to take the timeout, but
Mark, I'm not an odds man, but I'm going to give you 11-1 that 11 carries the ball.
Persinger gets the snap, gets it to Black, and Black is in for the touchdown. And GW extends its lead here against Spring Valley in the fourth quarter. Black's 3rd touchdown of the game. Not a bad freshman debut.
Pretty impressive start for him.
Teddy Smith.
See if he can remain perfect for the night, Mark. All his PATs true, and the field goal for him. Actually, 2 field goals for him.
Good snap, good hold, and the kick is good. Now, each and every week when we bring you our Go-Mart Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week, presented by Glenville State University, as we take another look at freshman Jaden Black fighting his way into the end zone, his 3rd touchdown of the game. Teams playing for our Champions of the Game trophy. And that trophy is presented by Tri-State Trophy. Beautiful trophy. And right now, GW, owners of a 27-7 advantage. We break away here at GW.
All right, guys. Well, welcome back. I'm right here with Elle Blankenship and her friend Haley. So, Elle, this is her first year at George Washington High School, and her friend Haley, this is her second year here. How's it feel to be out here for the very first game for Friday Night Rivals?
It was awesome. It's surreal. I'm so happy to be here.
How do you feel this is your second year?
Great. So much fun. Love it.
And then you have to tell me, because your brother actually is one of the quarterbacks. Let's talk a little bit about that.
It's awesome seeing him play. I've watched him develop and grow as a football player my whole life, so being able to go to this school and watch him play is really cool.
Hoping for a win tonight?
I'm hoping and praying.
All right, Elle, Haley, I appreciate you guys. Guys, I'll go ahead and send it back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Hannah. Time for our West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program scoring summary. 8 plays, 38 yards, 506. Black with the touchdown, 29 carries, 122 yards, and 3 TDs, 2 rushing, and 1 receiving. And it will be a guy who's been quite busy tonight, Teddy Smith, teeing it up and ready to kick it off. Our West Virginia State Building and Construction Trades kickoff, where the future is forged.
One thing I'll say about Spring Valley Market that I've seen that was positive is they've had a good job on their kickoff, so you never know what might happen with this one.
Well, they will squib it, and that is Van Arsdale who will just have to fall on it there, and so Spring Valley will start at about the 31-yard line. Make that the 32.
Tom is certainly not befriending the Timberwolves. They're going to have to move and move quickly. They need to have a drive like they did the first possession where they just kind of shoved it down George Washington's throat. 3 plays and 2 big chunks out of that. Since then, they haven't been able to muster much, Mark.
So that will have Lovejoy back in the gun. Looking to throw, and Lovejoy going to take off with it. Good job by the senior QB, Caden Lovejoy, and he's coming up a bit slow.
Marky kind of slid to give himself up, but then took a little bit of a shot, I think. I saw that right at the end of that play. Let's take a look at that and see. Could have been an awkward slide on his part, but I was thinking there was some contact here where watch he gives himself up once he gets past. I see what happened. Oh. Big boy with a knee in the back. That's what happened there. You got Seth Allen Boone.
Well, Jim, a guy that you had a chance to work with in administration, the late Fred Aldridge. We heard Jim Hamrick talk about him earlier, and Fred was the defensive coordinator for Steve Edwards Sr. many years up here on the Hill. He was the head basketball coach. He won a state championship as a basketball coach, state championship program in football. Just a wonderful, wonderful guy. And Owen Porter, great player at Spring Valley and played at Marshall.
Yeah, Mark, going back to
for Spring
Fred
Valley,
Aldridge, you know, he was really the reason that I got into administration. I was a teacher at Ravenswood, and he pulled me aside and said, you know, Coach, you know, I see something in you. And I said, you know, he's got the leadership skills. He said, you really need to get in administration. It wasn't anything that I was even actually considering. But then because of him speaking to me, it was something I considered, and then it kind of changed the trajectory of my career from that point on. He was such a class individual, great motivator.
And Lovejoy
yeah,
going off slowly there. So that is going to bring into the lineup will be a young freshman by the name of Luke Eastwood. His dad, Jeremy, on the coaching staff. Jeremy was an outstanding player at Sissonville, and he played at Marshall. And getting back to Fred Aldridge, Steve Edwards Jr., I said, what was it like? You had your dad, you had Fred Aldridge. He said, it was like having two dads. And he said it was just wonderful. I had the privilege of going to high school at Ripley with Fred's daughter, Keamy.
Yeah.
They lived right there on the Jackson Kanawha County line. Fred came here to work every day, but his two daughters, Keamy and Candy, they both attended Ripley High School, were graduates there. And Keamy providing us with those photos of her dad. All right, Eastwood hands it off, and GW. There's not much there against this defense for the Patriots. You know, we talked about the offense for GW. The defense has been pretty impressive as well, though it is a first down accomplishment by Spring Valley. Clay Center, first down, where science and art comes alive.
Yeah, Casey Adkins, linebacker with the tackle, kind of a Cowboys-type tackle. Mark was able to launch him forward for the extra yardage needed to move the sticks.
It was their first third down conversion. Snap it to Eastwood, give it to Kane, and Kane finding yardage, and then Kane will be stopped by Landon Hamilton right there around midfield.
One of the better runs by Kane tonight, Mark. He kind of eluded some tacklers there and was able to come clear of that and get about a good 7 or 8.
Well, he's a tough kid, and Brad Dingus made no bones about it. You know, a lot of guys might not come back from a broken leg, at least as quickly as he did. And he said, you know, it was just never-ending. Coach, I need the keys to the weight room.
One of those hard workers that will do anything you ask him. You love those kind of athletes.
Eastwood. It's the call.
You know, Mark, that got blew up there. You know, he didn't make the tackle. But you're talking about pressure, putting it back inside. Clyde May, the junior linebacker, coming in hard off of the edge, was able to squeeze that run back inside, able to only get a yard or two on that.
Yeah, Eastwood handing it off to Lewis, number 45. So 3rd and 1 here. Under 4 minutes to go in the football game. Eastwood brings it out here, and Dillon incomplete.
Yeah,
now there's a penalty flag coming out.
Yeah, Dillon, I think, trying to run with that ball before he caught it, which kind of found a little bit surprising. 3rd and short. I thought they'd try to punch forward. They've been moving the ball a little bit. Looked like the injured.
Day Page.
Yeah, Day Page down. May have been one of those guy landing on the back of his legs. He's in a lot of pain.
Well, next week we will have the Battle of the Ohio River. The Gallia Academy Blue Devils invading Ohio Valley Bank Stadium to go up against Point Pleasant. 2 new head coaches in that game. And we look forward to that matchup. It'll be they continue to look at Day Page.
And while we see this injury for Spring Valley, we had a holding to add insult to injury. No pun intended there. Looks like he's walking off on his own, but Spring Valley called for yet another holding, Mark, putting them back to 3rd and 10 when they were really close to the sticks.
That matchup next week, Dalton Jarrell, he's the head coach for Gallia Academy. He's the 3rd head coach in 3 seasons for the Blue Devils. And James Higginbotham is the new head coach at Point Pleasant High School, replacing Dave Darst, who retired after 18 successful seasons.
That gentleman is a hard act to follow for sure.
And Dave had a tough act to follow in Steve Safford.
Sure did, yep.
So they've had 2 coaches in 50 years. It was Purdue getting the carry there for Spring Valley. We look forward to that matchup next week.
Yeah, good job there by Coach Edwards putting some of these second depth guys in there, get him some quality playing time against that first squad just to see what they're made, kind of grade them out as well. Take some of those starters out of the game. Don't need them in here now, up 20 with a rolling clock, 3 minutes to go.
Point Pleasant and the Higginbotham era will begin tomorrow at Fairland in Proctorville against the Dragons. Well, turnover on downs, Jim. You know, they had no choice.
Yeah, they had to go for it, Mark. I know it doesn't count as a true turnover like a fumble or an interception, but turnover on downs is pretty close to that because it kind of demoralizes you as well. You'll see a lot of the second teamers coming in here for the Patriots inside of 3 minutes.
Well, Persinger returns. Black
looks like they
returns.
They got a couple of guys up front that look a little fresh to me.
Gallia Academy opened its season last Friday, fell to Boyd County, Kentucky. There in Gallipolis at Memorial Field. It might be the last year for Memorial Field, home of the Gallia Academy Blue Devils for many years there in the old French City. Hoping to get a facility at their beautiful high school just a couple of miles out of town. And boy, how about Bo Christopher? 11 meets 11.
Yeah, that's a tough one there for Jaden Block. He didn't even have a chance. He barely got the ball. Lucky was able to hang on to it. Bo Christopher come barreling through there and just met him head on.
Gallia Academy playing at Jackson tomorrow night. Andy Hall and his great program with the Ironman. That'll be at Alumni Stadium. And Alumni Stadium on Saturday, it will be the return of football for the University of Rio Grande. They're going to play Defiance, and that's where they'll play their home games there in Jackson for the first few seasons. Persinger gets the snap, gives it to Black, and Black met over there, and no, Black is still on his feet. Jaden Black will not be taken down. Finally he is. Flags are coming out everywhere here.
Mark, that was one step away from being on the national highlight reel. Of course, they had all kinds of flags on it.
What Mr. Wilkinson has to say. Well, tremendous effort nonetheless by the young freshman. GW breaks the huddle. Kylan Stover, by the way, number 99, he's the one that finally got Black to the turf. Black will get the call, and Black will go down. Spring Valley struck first in the game. Caden Dillon scored. Just a 3-play drive for the Timberwolves, 26 yards. Dillon took it into the end zone, but after that, GW scored 27 unanswered.
Kind of stepped out of that fog after the first few plays, and that defense has just been stellar the entire night, Mark. Unbelievable. Great effort on their part. It's like they'll take one more play with a knee, and that should probably do it. Snap it with about 1 second, or they'll take the penalty. Nope.
Well, that will do it. The George Washington Patriots. Steve Edwards Jr., a 1979 graduate of George Washington High School, 30th season, and he picks up his 204th career win at his alma mater as the head coach, place where he starred as a player for his late father, Steve Edwards Sr. Brad Dingus and Steve Jr. meet, the teams meet, and it's all over here on the hill at George Washington High School. We got lots coming up when we return here on our Go-Mart Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week presented by Glenville State University.
Hey, everybody. I've got Chris Miller at Dutch Miller Kia. You're helping us out this year, Chris. What made you get on board?
And so we absolutely love high school athletics. We absolutely love giving back to the community. And the simple fact that we can be involved and help all of these different athletic programs all around the state, I mean, how would you not want to do that? It's high school football season. It's going to be so much fun. We could watch kids compete and also give back to the community and make sure that these programs have enough resources to take care of these kids.
What you're giving is going to make a difference, and it's going to make some athletic department just that much better.
Yeah, we're all in the scramble to make sure and have enough resources to take care of our kids. And we look at it like our job at Dutch Miller Automotive is that we believe that our business has a symbiotic relationship with the community that it's privileged enough to do business in. And when we do well, we want to make sure the community does well. So we're always doing everything that we can to give back and make sure that we're able to do the fun things we like high school football.
The educators hear it, the parents hear it, the players hear it. We all want to know, where do you keep that checkbook with that big 5-foot check?
So we do have big, long checkbooks, big, huge, checkbooks we give away for presentations too. They're around.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you very much, Chris Miller. Very, very good to work with you, and it's a proud situation for Dutch Miller to be in.
It really is. We're honored to take part. We can't wait to watch these kids compete. It's going to be an awesome high school football season, and you guys get ready, buckle your shin straps. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Let's play ball.
This is the School Bus Stop of the Game, presented by NHTSA. This is the School Bus Stop of the Game, presented by NHTSA. Always remember to stop when the school bus arm is out.
And the George Washington defense, well, they were relentless tonight, Jim. Big fourth down, stop there. Cam Purdue on the call, and Landon Hamilton made the stop. Outstanding defense, outstanding offense. Jaden Black is our player of the game, presented by Go-Mart. He just had a sensational night as a young freshman. 32 carries, 120 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, and a receiving touchdown. Well, Hannah Klein, it is all yours with the winning George Washington Patriots.
All right, Mark, I appreciate you. Now, Coach, when I talked to you during the half, you guys were up. You're still trying to get those first game jitters out. 27 points up on that scoreboard. Let's talk a little bit about that performance tonight.
Well, the kids really handled themselves well. They played more mature than they really are. They were a lot of experience out there, but they played like they've been doing this forever, and I'm really proud of them.
And this is your 30th season, right, GW?
Yes, it is. My 30th year, and what a way to get the 30th year started.
Do you feel like that's a tone going into the rest of the season?
Well, I think it should for this team. It should give them confidence. It should reinforce the things that we're doing. We're doing the right things. Keep buying in and keep keep your mind in the right spot, and good things can happen to us.
And I know you've watched a lot of these players over the last couple of years. What's probably the most rewarding part about watching every single one of these players from their first year to their last?
Well, seeing them come out and win, be successful against a team that's really good and a team that people thought we were underdogs. And I'm really, really pleased with the effort, and I'm just pleased for those kids, really for the seniors. Those kids have been with us. I mean, it's a GW squad, guys, and that's something to be said for that. Very proud of that.
So let me be the first to cheer you on FNR Champions of the Week. I want to hear from you guys. Congratulations. Hey!
Well, they've captured a few of those here on the Hill, Jim, and another here tonight. Our congrats to Steve Edwards Jr. and his team. 1-0, Spring Valley 0-1. Spring Valley will play at Parkersburg next week. First 3 games on the road for Brad Dingus's crew. And meanwhile, George Washington right back at home here against Hurricane next weekend. Hurricane knocked them off last year in the playoffs by a final of 14-13. Or Dan Carney leading the cheers down there as GW celebrates with that trophy. Final thoughts from you, Jim?
Defense just really stepped up for GW. Something special there. And Jaden Black, he's a really special player. Really good team Steve Edwards Jr. has. So looking forward to what they do the rest of the season.
All right, Jim. Todd Chevalier going to join me for a couple of weeks. You got a couple of trips to make. See you in a few, my man, but certainly off to a good start here on FNR.
Absolutely.
All right, that's going to do it for Game 2 of our Go-Mart Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week, presented by Glenville State University. Again, your final of this special Thursday edition. It is George Washington winning over Spring Valley by a final of 27-7. So for Jim Mahan, Hannah Klein, our great FNR crew, this is Mark Martin. We say so long from Steve Edwards Senior Field on the campus of George Washington High School on the Hill in Charleston, the state capital city of West Virginia. We thank you for watching our Go-Mart Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week, presented by Glenville State University.